Hi kiddos, welcome back for our biome lesson today. So far we talked about the tundra, the coldest of the biomes, with its layer of permafrost that never thaws out. We talked about grasslands, which have mostly grass growing in them, a few trees by the riverbeds, but mostly grass, where we live. And we talked about the savanna, which is the tropical grassland in Africa and Australia, where you can find all kinds of cool creatures like lions and cheetahs and elephants and giraffes. So those are the three we've talked about so far. Today we are going to talk about deserts. And if you were to take the earth and break it into 5 pieces, this would be called fifths. 1 whole fifth would be covered by the desert. Okay? Before we look at some creatures and some plants that grow there, let's talk quickly about what it's like. There's a layer of soil that's sandy, that's the one we always think of, or gravelly, or stony, and there's not a lot of water. In the desert, they get less than 20 inches of moisture a year, which is not a lot at all. Because of this, the plants there are made so they conserve water. So cacti, which is the plural for cactus, they have big stems so they can keep lots of water stored in them. Then they have the spines on them so that animals won't come take that water from them. So God designed them to protect them so they can keep growing even with only a little bit of moisture. And then we'll see some of the animals. They have really large ears, and that's to let heat out of their bodies so that they can stay cool no matter how hot it gets. Okay, there are 4 types of deserts. This is part of why so much of the earth is covered with them. We are going to focus on 2 of them, and not really on one, but I know you'll like the second one. One kind of desert is called the arid desert. These are really hot and really dry. This would be like the Sahara in Africa, or like the Mojave Desert, which is in the southwest part of our country. Okay, so that's an arid desert. And then there's a coastal desert and there's a semi-arid desert, but there's also a cold desert, which might not make a lot of sense, but if a desert is defined by how much water is there and how much plant life, and it doesn't get a lot of water, there is desert in Antarctica because it doesn't snow there as much as you might think. It just stays cold. So those are some of our desert types, okay? You'll see in this book that I'm going to read quickly, there are not a lot of big animals in the desert. Just because of how much food and water a large animal needs, a lot of them are not able to live there. So there's a lot of reptiles, some amphibians, not as many, and some really small mammals, okay? So this is called desert homes. We'll just look at some of it quickly. It says, desert days are scorching hot. Nights can be very cold. Let's learn about this amazing place and the animals that call it home. These are called sand dunes. They look like waves. It's where the wind has blown the sand. Deserts are often covered in sand. Strong winds whip the sand into steep dunes. I don't like this page. What could possibly live in the sea of sand? Y'all know what that is. This is called a thorny devil. It's kind of lizard. Check that out. Take a look. Deserts make great homes for all kinds of animals. There's an ostrich. And then look at this guy, kangaroo rat. Isn't he cute? He stands like a kangaroo, but he looks like a rat. Birds and mammals. It says elf owls live in the desert. They are the tiniest of all owls. They are small enough to live in the holes of a cactus. Teeny. Road runners also live in the desert. They can run 15 miles an hour. Wow, that is as fast as a person running at top speed. So if the fastest guy raced a road runner, it would be a tie. Fennec foxes live in the desert. This animal digs burrows, that's a hole underground, to stay out of the sun. They like to munch on mice, lizards, and bugs. And you can see here's one of the guys I was talking about. Look at those giant ears to let the heat out of his body. It says they also use them to listen for prey. Camels are another mammal that live in the desert. Storing fat in their humps allows them to go many days without water. And here's a few more. This is the Gila monster. They live in the desert. If you see one, beware. This reptile has a poisonous bite. This is a scorpion. Watch out for it too. The tip of its tail has a poisonous stinger. What else lives in the desert? Insects. Listen to this. They create a breeze when they scurry along. the sand. This tiny breeze helps the bugs stay cool. So have you ever been running and you can kind of feel the wind? That's what these insects do to stay cool. Deserts are hot, windy, and dry, but many animals think this sandy home is just dandy. And this is a sidewinder rattlesnake. Definitely a lot of snakes there. So today we are going to make our desert page for our biome book. So you'll need your paper, portrait style, and you will write desert across the top. Now I know I've been doing kind of plain letters, but I think today I'm feeling bubble letters. Desert. Don't put an extra S or you get dessert. And we're not drawing dessert today. All right, there's my desert. Okay, now we're going to get our land. I really liked those dunes, so I'm gonna do some wavy lines to show the sand dunes. Okay, and then I'm going to draw a cactus. And I think here's the best way to draw a cactus. You kind of do it like a finger. See that? And then you kind of make bubble L's coming out of the side. There's one. And then we'll go on the other side. There's two. And then if I erase my dune lines, now I have a cactus, but he's missing that protection against animals. I need a lot of little lines coming out, spikes, to keep him safe. I'm gonna leave a little hole in the middle because I wanna put in one of those elf owls because I thought they were cute. So here's my cactus, okay? And then I'm going to put a hole here and I'm gonna put a little owl. Big old eyes. Little guy hiding in there. There's my elf owl, okay? And then I'm also gonna have a hole over here. I'm gonna have one of those foxes, a fennec fox with his big ears. Okay. Hiding in his burrow, listening. So there's my fennec fox over there. Definitely need some snakes out here in the desert. Okay. We can get some reptiles going. Here's one. Maybe we want some little bugs crawling across. You could do tarantulas, okay? I'm not gonna do a tarantula though. Okay, so there you go. There's your bugs. What else? You could put a camel in the background, I suppose. Though camels don't live in every desert, just some of them. God designed them. Remember to, you could even put, oh, I know, you could put pyramids in the back because those pyramids that we've studied, the Great Pyramids, are in the desert. Okay, so you can have pyramids in the background to remember that. I know we all love our pyramids. Thank you, Egypt. So there you go. So I've got several creatures. My fennec fox, a snake, some insects, my elf owl. I've got a cacti, well, cactus, because there's only one. And then I've got my pyramids to remind me that the pyramids are in fact in the desert. You can do that little kangaroo rat who is so cute, okay? Or different types of lizards. You have lots of options. So here's your desert page. Make sure you color it beautifully and then save it with your biome book. All right, bye.